Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Hello and welcome to Footy Judge Mode. They are back in the title race, as we all know, and we are all expected, of course, 5-0 for fuck's sake. Arsenal won 5-0, people, destroying Crystal Palace. Martinelli scored a brace, Gabriel a brace, and Trossard scoring. Kai Havertz shines? Absolutely not. Actually, I didn't want to watch the guy play football again, to be honest. But Arsenal are back, 3 points or 2 points behind Liverpool. If Liverpool drop points more, they are officially back in the title race. But we're here to talk about it, of course, with the guys. So hit that like button if you just joined. If you're watching this on the replay, hit that like button. You like Arsenal, you don't like Arsenal, whatever. But I'm here with Kanebi, Saad, Bilal, Brandon. I hope everybody is well, and I hope everybody has enjoyed the game. 5-0. You cannot ask for more. Don't be greedy. You cannot ask for more from this team, to be honest. How's everybody doing? How's everybody feeling?
Alhamdulillah.
Everything is good?
Yeah.
I'm good.
Man. A bit more happy. Less stressful a week and a bit. You know, get a win. Regardless of what we say, and sometimes they're frustrated. When your team wins, that's what it's about. So
it's a weight taken off your shoulders, man.
Yeah, 100%. Listen, this is my opinion about the game, to be honest. Arsenal were slow in the first half. Crystal Palace packed the area. In the first half, I thought that there's supposed to be more forward passing. Zinchenko was very good. Odegaard was all right. I thought Trossard was very positive. Gabriel was going forward. It turned into 3 in the back. I thought this is what Arsenal wanted to do. You were slow, but you were positive. I actually liked what I saw from Arsenal in that first half. But the goals came from set pieces, which is a big part of the game, and Arsenal are very, very good. I didn't think it was a free kick because the Newcastle game, well, I don't think you can complain about that anymore because they look the same, but at least the referees are consistent. Well, in the second half, when the spaces were there, you exploited the space. And David Raya, with that throw to Gabriel Jesus, I thought that was very, very good for the third goal. So Arsenal, to be honest, yes, people say it's not as fluid as before, but he scored 5 goals. The goal is a goal. You created plenty of chances sometimes, passing in the 18. But I actually thought the Arsenal looked all right, better than before, of course. And I'm going to start with Kanebi. Kanebi, how did you see the game? Are you happy with the performance first? Or is just because everybody, by the way, the majority of people I'm saying, they say, this is just not he left because I thought he didn't want to talk about the performance. But I can go to the next one. Is it just a bad performance, Bilal? It's just a result and a bad performance, or do you think you got both?
It's a massive result. We need to win this game to start off with. Anyway, I've looked at the next 10 games before this game, and I've looked at them and I've said, listen, if Arsenal's serious, you need to win all of those games, including the Champions League games against Porto, because these next 10 games, or now 9 games, this is what's going to set up the rest of the season for Arsenal. So it's crucial that we started off on the right note. I understand, even watching the game as a fan, you're sitting there thinking, okay, Arsenal, can we please figure out a way to break a team down in open play? You know, can we please find a way to really, show that we can really start breaking teams down in a normal fashion, let's say in open play, like we more used to. But Arsenal this season, the set pieces have been a massive strength. So I'm not going to say it's a negative, because that's a massive strength of Arsenal. 2 great deliveries, one from Rice, one from Saka. Arsenal showed their quality in those moments in the set pieces. But of course, I understand as well that sometimes the people who do say, listen, we need to be doing better in open play. Even in the second half, right, our goals, the third goal, it's a counter-attack, there's a lot of space, and the Martinelli goals as well. Again, there's a lot of space. The game's kind of dead. The Palace fans are protesting at the Emirates Stadium. I've never really seen away fans protest at someone else's stadium, but that's besides the point. But, you look at the situation for Arsenal, it's 5-0. Yes, we could have done better. Yes, we should be breaking teams down. But right now, as I said, the most important thing is the result. These next 9 games now are crucial, and Arsenal need to just pick up these performances and need to keep building this momentum going into the next few games. So let's see what happens. It's good signs, 100%. Even players like Jesus, after that third goal, right? If you guys noticed with his assist, right? Did you just see his energy? All of a sudden, we've got a lot of players who are like confidence players, in my opinion. And I I don't know if it's a good thing. I know every player has an element of they need confidence, right? But some players, you see it more than others. And Gabriel Jesus, for me, he's one of those players, like when he's really confident, when he's really feeling himself, all of a sudden you start seeing this mad energy, this mad enthusiasm to try and get another goal, to try and get an assist, to try and put himself about. And I feel like we have a few players, even like Havertz, when he has a bit more confidence, you start seeing a better version of him, even though, listen, I know we all have our opinion on Havertz, and I don't think we should have signed him for the money, etc. But we have a lot of those type of players. So listen, 5-0, you take the result, you take the win, you take the positives. And I liked as well at the end of the game, if anyone caught it, they asked Gabriel Martinelli and Gabriel Magalhaes, right? Do you guys think you can win the Premier League? And there was no hesitation. They were like, yes, we can do it, etc. I want to see that energy from the players. They need this belief, they need this confidence, and hopefully they just keep this, going into the next few games as well. As I said, the next 9 games, crucial. This is going to make or break Arsenal season, going into that last third, in my opinion.
Yeah. So what is but Saad, how did you view the game? How did you see again the starting lineup? This is your strongest lineup on paper. Don't worry about party, whatever. This is your strongest lineup. The reason why I'm saying that, Saad, because Party played 2.5 games, so you cannot say.
Yes, but he still plays a big part, Mo. Let's not do that. You're acting like he doesn't play a big part to how we were playing last season. He's a line breaker. What do we have in this?
So Rice sits on the bench then?
No. Rice plays.
So where does Rice play? Then?
Rice plays with him. Rice plays with him.
More defensive, like you get two.
He plays,
a double.
He plays in the left 8. He plays in the left 8, and they'll play.
Bro, right? To be honest with you guys, like, I'm watching Rice today. He's very safe in passing. You need a left 8 that is more. He's very safe. Declan Rice is and that's not. By the way, some players are just like that. He's very good in interception tackles. He's leading. I think he's leading the Premier League, right?
Yeah.
But he's very safe in passing. He doesn't take risks. Did you see Zinchenko's pass to Martinelli that led to the corner? That's a line breaking pass. Not a lot of people will see that.
That's what Party does. That's what Party does. That's what Party does.
So Party plays left 8 then. Okay.
No. But Party will be breaking the lines. They will switch between them, bro. They will switch. That was happening last season anyway. You saw Granit Xhaka at times would switch to the right side and Party would switch to the left side at times. And then you saw that Party was able to break the lines. You were missing line breaking passes. We had it today. And it worked out good for us.
Zinchenko
we managed to get
in the 8. I'm gonna say it 100 times. I'm gonna say it like 50
I don't want Zinchenko in the 8, man.
Yeah, because
it's not Zinchenko, guys. What it is, right? And we saw it in the Liverpool game when Rice was with Jorginho. That is the model that Arsenal need to go with. Them two
double pivot. Are you kidding me?
Listen, when Jorginho is on the pitch. Listen, when Jorginho is on the pitch, you see the difference. I know he's not prime Jorginho. I know he's not got the legs. But bro, I'm telling you, Rice and Jorginho is much better than playing Rice, Havertz, Odegaard. This midfielder. If you played Rice, Jorginho, Odegaard,
forget
Jorginho
Havertz.
dictate the. That's what I'm saying. We need a player in there, like obviously Thomas Partey. Hopefully, when he comes back, to dictate the tempo. And Rice can use. He's a monster athlete, complete monster. You let him just go box to box and win the tackles and.
See, this is like what you do again.
No, Declan Rice. I said it since the beginning.
He's a defensive midfielder, people.
He's got one of the maddest engines. He can win the ball back. He can win the ball. Come on, man. Declan Rice is a top midfielder.
He's a box.
Yeah, him in the 8.
He was.
That's what I wanted him
box to box. No, because I've realized, Mo saying that is clearly misprofile Rice at West Ham. Rice at West Ham. Now, one second, Habibi. 1 second.
Why are you yelling at me, Habibi?
1 second. There you go. There you are.
Yelling at me, Habibi?
There you are. No, but Mo, this is the thing. If you look at Rice at West Ham with Souček next to him, he was a box to box. He would help them defensively and he would go forward and help them as well. Carry the ball forward. He'd pass it around. The only thing that Rice doesn't have at the moment is the line breaking part. That's the only thing that he doesn't have. He passes forward, yes, but he doesn't take the risk. If you compare the passes that Rice does going forward to the passes that Partey does going forward, Partey takes a risk. If there's 2 players in between him and he needs to pass in between those 2 players, Rice won't do that. Rice will take the safer pass where there's a player next to him that's open. Partey, he's going through that gap between those 2 players and he's breaking the lines every time. He's taking the risk with the pass. Rice just doesn't do that. But he will learn to do that. He can learn to do that under the manager. He can learn to do that in the system once he gets more and more confident and once he starts taking that risk.
There's 17 games left in the league. That's what you guys don't understand.
Exactly.
It's only 17 games. There is no time for anyone to learn. Listen, he can learn if your aim is to win the league in the next season. There is 17 games. You need to play. This is my opinion. Listen, and I'm actually I am looking out for you now. It's the other way around. I'm looking out for you as an Arsenal fan. I'm telling you, bro. You cannot have someone learning still there are 17 games. You might need to win 15 games to win the league if you are serious about winning the league. You might have to win 15 games at least to win this league. 17 games left or 17 because you play 21 games. You cannot tell me he's gonna learn on the job. You can't. This is for a team that needs. This is like next year. I am telling you, Declan Rice is is probably the best DM at the current moment because he's very consistent. He doesn't provide the flair that Rodri sometimes provides. He isn't Bissouma, for example, who sometimes drives with the ball forward and makes a risky pass. Declan Rice is a safe player. And that's a very good player to have on your team with his physicality, and he's very athletic. I'm not slagging him off, but you need another 8 that will do what Zinchenko did today. That pass, you need an 8 that will break the 18. Will get it. Zinchenko might not be the guy, right? But he's the best you have now. That's my thing about it. Because I was looking at the game today. I don't
disagree with that.
Everything I saw today, Wallah al-Azim, and I'm not just saying that. I actually was thinking about one idea in my head. There is one player from both teams. If you switch these two players, Crystal Palace get worse and Arsenal get better. One player on the pitch. Can someone tell me who these two players, you switch from this team to this team, Crystal Palace get worse? That's it. Imagine I'm watching the game. All I can think of is this Arsenal team. There is not one player from Crystal Palace that can switch to Arsenal and Arsenal will be better. And there is not one player to switch to Crystal Palace and Crystal Palace will get worse. Right? And I looked at every single position, right? Including Gabriel and Saliba. They are better than Anderson and Gay, right? There's only one player on the pitch. You switch them, one team gets worse and the other team gets better. Imagine that, bro. Imagine this. It's one player out of 22 players. That's shit. This idea kept circling around my head. Every time I was watching Havertz, every time I'm like, I look at Eze and I see how confident the guy on the ball is, how good he is in passing, how good is he in dribbling. And I'm like, imagine if Arsenal spend the 65 million and got Eze. Yes, he's injury prone, but imagine if they get someone similar. Even Zinchenko, because someone in the chat saying Tarek Mitchell. Zinchenko today, if anybody tells me that Zinchenko played bad today, this is why Zinchenko's in the team. To play this particular rule, to have 3 in the back with Ben White, and Zinchenko's another midfielder. He provided so much.
Yes, right? Mo, that's perfect with you saying this and saying, oh, you know what, Zinchenko was great. Zinchenko, no, it's not the reality. It's not the reality. It's not. Because this is what a lot of rival fans do. Why do you always blame Zinchenko? Because we see him game in, game out. He'll give you a great game like this, and then 2 games later, he might drop an absolute stinker defensively. Going forward, he doesn't know how to hold the ball in his feet. He has this inconsistency in his gameplay. It happens. It happens. And maybe you guys watch one game and you think it's great, and then you don't watch the other games because. Bro, and I know you watch the games,
right?
But
you know I watch every single Arsenal 21 games. I haven't missed a freaking game. You know that, right? I'm freaking watching the games, right? I'm talking about today. I'm not talking about Zinchenko in Liverpool in 2022 or 2023. I'm talking today. I'm talking about today. Like today, I'm watching Zinchenko. This is exactly why Arteta wanted Zinchenko after he coached him at Man City. Because of the role he played today. Imagine if you had a better, and people, and Castro in the chat, I get what you're saying. You think I have an agenda? Bro, I don't have an agenda. Kai Havertz isn't a good player. Simple as that. Like, just, like it's not an agenda, bro. If you had Zinchenko inverting and you had Eze on the pitch instead of him or another 8, Arsenal would have looked better. But anyway, Mo has an agenda. Yeah, it all
depends on how you view it. It just depends on how you view it. It depends on how you view it,
Oh.
because Mo, you're looking at it with the set tactics that Arteta's using, and you're saying, listen, you've identified the issue. If you had Eze instead of Havertz, obviously the team would be looking better. You'd have someone who could actually do something on the half turn and actually, create more of a threat than a Kai Havertz, right? But it depends. That's why, in my head, the reason I said, because we don't have that sort of player unless Emil Smith-Rowe figures out how to stay fit and takes that role completely, right? And I don't know. It's neither here nor there. That's why I said maybe you've got to switch it up and play more of a pivot. You get Jorginho in there because he does offer that control in the team and he can dictate the tempo and help Arsenal actually break teams down. You see, I know it's the last 10 minutes of the game or the last 15 and Crystal Palace are down and out, right? But you see what Jorginho did in terms of he takes the ball, it's calm, it's one touch pass, and you see the rest of the team gets influenced, and all of a sudden Zinchenko will get it. He'll do one pass. They start breaking the team down properly, right? And that's what Arsenal have been missing, in my opinion. So it just depends on how you view it. If you're looking at Arteta's system right now, the way he's playing, the way we all think he wants to play long term, right? Then yeah, I understand why you want an Eze, you wanted a Maddison, a McAllister, that sort of player to play in that position instead of a Kai Havertz. To be honest, right? It's one of them ones. I saw this funny picture today. Someone, I don't know, it's one of these memes, right? It's like Kai Havertz plays centre forward, crap, gets moved to midfield, plays crap, and then you just like a complete cycle where you just keep moving this player around because we don't really know where to play. Maybe left back, like he did for Germany, actually got a goal, right? Playing left
I think
back.
you have to start.
Let me get Kanebi and Brandon,
sorry,
please.
Ras.
Guys, over 250 of you here. Well, you guys are, I know, like, you guys are enjoying the show, but it's only 60 likes. 250 people, 60 likes. I think that's embarrassing. So, can we hit the like button? Get us at least to 150 likes, people, so we get more people to watch. We get this channel up and running. Come on, people. Kanebi, talk to me. Talk to me before I go to Brandon, because I know that Brandon will give
Well, what can I say? I have nothing to complain about. 5-0. There's been a lack of goals. We're back 5-0. Clean sheets, good performance from everybody. 2 goals from set pieces, 3 from open play. I was kind of bothered about the fact that we're relying too much on set pieces, but we kind of scored 3 from open play. Obviously we still need to improve on a lot of things, especially with Gabriel Jesus. I think he still needs to be a better finisher. I think he needs to be more of a killer. He doesn't really have that killer instinct yet. But I'm very happy with today's performance. Considering the last 3 games, today is a very good day. So I have nothing to really complain about, my guy. So anybody else can complain, whine, say this, that, say that. That's their problem. I'm good. I'm going to sleep well with a smile on my face. Wake up, watch some YouTube. That's it. I'm good. I'm good. It's a great performance.
Okay, Brandon, let me just do this. When Fars is saying Gabriel unmarked for both Palace were very shit, just to talk about the 2 set pieces, they were actually fantastic planning. And everybody just want to say, no, he wasn't. Gabriel was marked by this guy, the American guy, the defender. What's his name? I can't remember his name.
Richards, I think it was.
Richards. And he jumped over him and he got the header. And the second one, Ben White standing in front of the goalkeeper or Declan Rice. I think they're very, very good to
No, it wasn't just that. It wasn't just that. Every single corner, if you look back at every single corner in the game, they were all aimed at Gabriel today.
Yeah,
every single one.
Good,
every single one.
Like Van Dijk, people aim at Van Dijk. Real Madrid used to aim at Ramos. I think people just I disagree with you, Faraz, to be honest with you. Brandon.
Mate, until Kanebi started talking, I started to think maybe I'd watched a different game today, or maybe I watched it with a blindfold on, because everybody's complaining. But I saw a complete contrast in today's game compared to the rest of the season. I see a team that moved the ball quickly, wasn't slow in transition. I see a team that made 1 or 2 touches and then moved the ball on. I see a team that was playing long passes when long passes need to be made and breaking the lines. David Raya being the prime example of that for the 3rd goal. Yeah, okay, we scored 2 goals from set pieces. And if we're being really, really picky, we've still got a problem when it comes to, open play, creating chances and that. Let's be real, apart from the 3 goals which we basically scored on the counter-attack, what did we really do in terms of like making Henderson work today? Not very much. But when I looked at that performance today, I see a similar sort of performance to what we've seen from Arsenal last season. It reminded me very much of Arsenal last season. Everybody worked hard. Everybody was pressing from the front. Everybody was moving the ball quickly. There was no, slow transition, just taking too many touches, allowing Crystal Palace to get back into position and then trying to work a low block. It was Arsenal at their free-flowing best. And we know these players are capable of that, right? So I'm going to praise Mikel Arteta today because I feel like he's took the shackles off a little bit. I think so far this season, we've seen this controlled football, and it's been very rigid in terms of our system and the way that we play, the way that we move the ball. And I think today we see a team that was, allowed to be a bit more free-flowing. And that's why you see Zinchenko with his passing, breaking the lines. He was very, very good today. That's why you see Trossard starting out on the left-hand side, but he wasn't always out on the left-hand side. Him, Jesus and Saka were very interchangeable at times, which is, again, something that Arsenal did very well last season. Our front three was very interchangeable last season. So far this season, it's been very rigid. Saka stays out on the right, Jesus stays in the middle, Martinelli stays out on the left, and they're hugging the touchline. They're not allowed to come inside. When they do come inside, they're trying to beat two men. So I see a little bit of a contrast today. I think Trossard definitely helped that, because the difference with Trossard and Martinelli is Trossard very, very technical, picks up positions centrally, out wide, different positions, whereas Martinelli likes to hug the touchline, take his man on, run at somebody. So I think that played a massive part. I think if we're looking at a solution for this left 8 role, Emil Smith-Rowe is the answer. He came on, and again, you're seeing a player take the ball on the half turn and go forward, drive past players, break the lines, which is something that Kai Havertz wasn't doing. If Smith-Rowe is not available, I agree with Mo. I think you move Zinchenko into that left 8 role, because that is where he excels. Yeah, in terms of his passing and breaking the lines, that's where Zinchenko excels if Thomas Partey is not available. So maybe it is a case of Arsenal going out and buying a left back who can be good defensively, like a Tyreek Mitchell, for example, and then allowing Zinchenko to be that guy with the free role in midfield to break the lines and do that Granit Xhaka type role that we see from last season, or Emil Smith-Rowe, because Kai Havertz is simply not the answer. Another contrast that I see today, Gabriel Jesus getting caught offside multiple times. People will say that's a negative. I think that's a positive, because we always complain about Jesus being in the midfield when we need him to be up front. It showed today that he was trying to play on the last man. He was trying to be, what we expect from a number 9. Play on the last man, cause problems, make the defenders think about where you are on the pitch, and it allows spaces in the midfield to open up and spaces out wide to open up. And we see that again today. So I think if we can keep replicating this performance throughout the remainder of the season, then maybe we have a chance of winning the league. I'm not going to sit here and say that we are back, because I believe at this moment in time, you can't say that after one performance. And also, I think in terms of actually winning the league, I think we've already messed it up, because we should have capitalised when Manchester City went on that 6-game run where they didn't win the game. And let's be honest, I know Liverpool sit top at the moment, but City are still the favourites. So I think we've kind of come a little bit too. I'd say it's a little bit too late. These performances are coming, but again, we've got to replicate this. We've got Forest next. We've got Liverpool coming up. You can't just sit here and say after one good performance against the poor Crystal Palace side that Arsenal are back. I don't buy into that at all. But definitely a lot better today, 100%. And look, if we're going to perform like that, Arteta can get fed by Salt Bay every single day of the week. I don't really care. Do you know what I mean? So it looks like also the players, right? Because this is another thing that you have to take into consideration. Arsenal are one of the least rotated teams in Europe this season. Like, Arteta doesn't use his substitutions very often. And when he does, he's bringing them on in the 80th minute, the 85th minute, something stupid like that. So maybe this break that we've had away in Dubai has done the players a little bit of good as well, because they can recharge their batteries. I mean, I don't really know, to be fair. Like I say, it's one good game. If we start to see this consistently, then maybe I can sit here and say, cool, we're starting to, progress and show the signs of being the Arsenal of last season that we all believed could win the league. But yeah, maybe that's done the players some good as well to recharge themselves. And yeah, that's where I'm at.
Guys, hit that like button. Over 300 people. Hit that like button. Get us to 150 likes or 200 likes. Saad, do you agree with Brendan here?
Yeah, listen, I agree with the Emil Smith Rowe. I've been screaming for this guy to start. I've been screaming for him to get game time. I've been screaming for him to play. You saw as soon as he came on, he was confident. He looked like he wanted to get onto ball. He looked like he wanted to do something with the ball. And the fact that Arteta has come out consistently before and said, "Oh, I back him. He's my player. I want him to play. I'm keeping him." I feel like the only reason he got played today is because West Ham came in for him. That's the only reason why he got played today. Otherwise, I think he would have gotten like 2 minutes, 3 minutes at the end of the game. But I'm so happy that he actually came in and we was able to show Mikel Arteta, like, look, this is what I can do. Yeah, I'm here. I'm good in this position. You can play me in the Havertz position, and I can perform well in this position. Even then, he was allowing Martinelli at times to go deeper into the box. And he would cover the left midfield position. He'd go into the left midfield position to try and get across. And he looked so good today, man. I really like ESR, man. I think he's such a good player. So I'm glad he's back with us. And I feel like he can stay fit for a long time. But just obviously, I understand that you guys are saying like this, and the performance was the scoreline was great, and I feel like in the second half we definitely turned it on and became much better as a team. But in the first half, I don't agree. I don't think we were moving the ball quick enough. There wasn't that urgency in the first half. I don't think there was, Brandon. I genuinely don't. At times we were slowing the game down a little bit. And even when you get to the latter end of the final third, not making the right decisions. Do you know what I mean? So I still saw parts of what I saw before in that first half. Hence why I was not as happy about the first half. But the second half, we definitely changed it around.
You know both them corners that we scored from. Yeah. You know them corners both came from quick passing, breaking the lines. You know, that first corner in particular, Zinchenko, that ball over the top to Martinelli. I completely disagree. I think we moved the ball quickly pretty much all game, apart from, when we went 2-0 up, 3-0 up, in the second half, and it was more comfortable. We didn't have to move the ball so quickly then because it was controlled football, as everybody liked to say, right? And then it allowed Crystal Palace to come out and try and apply pressure to us, which opened up the spaces for us to score on the counter attack. So I think today, I don't think anybody can really complain. I'm surprised that people are complaining, to be fair. I really am.
It's not necessarily.
Yeah, here you go. Do you want to see complaining?
It's just small things.
You want to see complaining?
It's just small things, bro.
So Essie, I don't know, like he's saying, enjoyed the chat I had with Brandon and Saad. Kudos. I know that you guys have a chat. Thank you so much for the support. Thank you, Essie. What chat? Where?
I don't know, but big up Essie though.
Big up Essie, but where is the chat?
Big up Essie though. I don't know,
to be honest. Okay, so I want this question is very good from Nabil here. Is saying Arsenal better with Jorginho than Rice?
No, not better with Jorginho. It's together, in my opinion. If they play together, I think Arsenal are a better team. Right now, with the players we have available.
No. Why? How are you saying that?
Because Jorginho offers the control that Rice, in my opinion, doesn't.
So what does Rice offer?
The physicality, the box to box, the actual presence in midfield, winning the ball back, pressing high up the pitch if we want him to, if he can help out. He's an all-action midfielder, Declan Rice. So for me,
this is a mess.
No, that's what. Listen, when Thomas, go back to the Community Shield game, and everyone was fit, and Thomas Partey played with Rice, and you see what Rice was doing then, and him and Partey with Timber coming inside.
Partey at 8.
I think that's the model.
Who has more offensive ability, Declan Rice or Thomas Partey?
It's not about just pure offensive ability. It's about controlling the game. We have players.
You already control the game, Bilal. I don't get what you want.
No, but I'm
not enough. 70% ball position, not enough.
I want to unlock the teams properly, and I feel like with a player like Jorginho in there, you have a much better chance of actually doing that.
You saw
with the
it.
Players we have available.
Right? Bilal, you saw it. You saw it not only in this game when he came on and was able to unlock the play. He also done it against Liverpool. I don't know why Mo's disagreeing with you. I have no idea. I can understand it's not the best option. I can understand it's not the best option, Mo. But right now, in the position that we're in with the players that we have available, he is the best option. He's better than Havertz in the midfield at the moment. We're not saying that he's our go-to midfielder and we should just start him every time and forget about buying a new midfielder. I want Jorginho for the foreseeable. That's not what we're saying. We're just saying right now in our predicament, I think he's the better partnership to Rice. Because yes, Rice has to do the heavy lifting with the defensive duties. He has to cover for Jorginho, but Jorginho can offer you a line breaking pass. He can do that. Which at the start of the season when he was playing with him, he wasn't even doing that. Now he's actually begun to do that, and he's actually starting to offer it. He's opening up play for us. So that's what I'm saying.
Quick question, just for everyone to answer.
The only problem I see with the only problem I see with Jorginho is I don't think he transitions quick enough. I think sometimes at times he has he takes too many touches. You know, I think that's the problem with I think we need somebody who can break the lines quickly. That's why when Mo says about Zinchenko in the 8, I agree with that. Because that is a guy who will transition the ball quickly.
Emil Smith Rowe, maybe it works. Not another 6. Not another 6.
So Mo, if you're Arsenal Football Club in the summer now, because we're not going to sign anyone obviously in January, but in the summer, and we're looking for a new midfielder, you'd be looking more for what, that number 8, let's say like, I don't know, Dani Olmo, for example, instead of like a Zubamendi. Real Sociedad, someone who can maybe control the tempo a lot more and play with the Declan Rice.
You want the ideal
what sort of midfielder? Yeah, what sort of midfielder? It doesn't have to be the 8 or the whatever you want. Just like what sort of player?
I'm gonna give you that, but first, thank you, SE. So Easter is clarifying. On the terrace, I said Rice was too slow on the ball. That's what I noticed in the first half. SE, he was a little bit hesitant of making the forward passes. Little bit hesitant of just breaking the lines, of risking the pass, as it was, you know what, I don't want to lose the ball more than I want to pass the ball forward and progress the ball. So I agree with you. So the best midfielder you can get in the summer is probably a type of a Barella or a De Jong. They're different, but they both can work. Goretzka maybe, but I think Barella is better. I wouldn't want Goretzka, to be honest. Barella is very good. I think you get someone like that. Zielinski from Napoli, but he's too old now. These are the types of midfielders I look to get. Or if Arsenal want to get a midfielder, a box-to-box midfielder that can have assists, that can have. Here's the myth about Declan Rice, which is I'm not sure what people want to say about it. In my opinion, Declan Rice is giving you a steady Eddie performance, an 8 out of 10 or a 7.5 out of 10 in the 6. Simple, pass the ball around, let the others do that offensive work. I'm here tackling, intercepting, moving the ball from the closest guy to me to Odegaard or to the fullbacks. You want to move him to the 8, where he's required to do so much more offensively, right? You'll take away from what he's doing in the 6. That's my opinion. Why do you want to do that? But Jorginho doesn't offer you what Rice offers. Rice is way more athletic. If Arsenal want to play quick, Jorginho isn't your guy, right? So, and you want to play Declan Rice, who played in a defensive team at West Ham, right? Yes, we used to see the reels. You know what? This is the problem with some of the football fans, right? They see the highlights of Declan Rice when he gets one play where he drives the ball forward until, here it is. He drives one time, but they don't see that West Ham were under the cush the whole game, and he's in his
actually predominantly. Souček was the one who was the box-to-box midfielder.
Yeah, that's what I mean. They see the real, you know. They see the
Souček Souček just existing most of the time. To be honest, it's Rice who's just suffering.
What do you mean existing?
Souček's job: get in the box, get a header. You know,
Yeah, exactly.
every time I watch
West
Ham, exactly. Every time I watch West Ham, like in terms of controlling the ball, obviously that's not the way they played anyway. They were playing more on the break. Souček wasn't really offering much in terms of the midfield. But obviously, once they get to the final third, they get it into the box. That's when Souček started really showing his worth. But it's just, honestly, I find it interesting to see how people view it, because now for me, I'm watching this Arsenal team, and I think the best solution for us is we go get a Zubimendi or even a Douglas Luiz who've been linked to in the past, and put him next to Declan Rice and move with that sort of midfield. But I think Mo, you're sticking with that pure 4-3-3, wanting to be really attacking two number
Inverted
8,
midfielder.
and then
Ben White comes inside, form a back three. Gabriel holding a line to the left. Ben White on the right side, controlling the game, completely playing in tight spaces. Your two wingers are holding the line. Odegaard and another 8 behind Gabriel Jesus. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Mo, put the whiteboard away, bro. Put the whiteboard away, bro. This guy, I said the whiteboard, the red circles.
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure. Even with Arteta,
last year, you know what I mean?
I'm pretty sure even with Arteta, he's probably looking at the team and thinking now, like me, like obviously the evidence. I was thinking at the beginning, maybe we need like an Amadou Onana, someone just to come and run up and down and do all of this sort of stuff. But the more I watch this team, the more I think we need that proper 6 who's going to control the game. And at the same time, they're not the problem with Jorginho is just he's not physical. He's obviously not got the legs, and that's what Brandon said, right? He's obviously got that issue where, listen, against Tottenham, he gets caught on the ball. It can happen when you play against the top teams. But if you get someone younger, 24, 25, you can do sort of what Jorginho does, but at the same time has the physicality. We've got a player there. So that's why, obviously, when Thomas Partey, if he ever gets fit, if he ever resurrects, right, he's going to be massive for Arsenal's season. If, obviously, we just keep winning our games, because that's the key thing. I said, next 9 games, got to win, and just give ourselves a chance.
The thing is, though, we got to move away from this Thomas Partey thing, because I don't believe he's going to be here come the summer anyway.
Yeah, no, 100%, 100%. I agree. Yeah, 100%.
Guys,
I'm just talking about now.
People. Guys, like the video, people. Your likes are up. Notification bell. Kanebi, what are you saying about this midfield thing? Do you think even it's a problem even?
Yeah, I think it's a problem. I totally agree. I think Kai Havertz is actually unbalanced in midfield. That's the problem here, because Kai Havertz is not the player that's meant to be in the midfield. We were meant to replace Granit Xhaka with a natural midfielder. Maybe Arteta thought he wanted to try something different. He went for Kai Havertz. That's the problem. Kai Havertz has unbalanced the midfield. And unfortunately for us, the funds we wanted to use to buy the midfielder, we spent it on Kai Havertz. So it's going to be there next season. But I think that's just the issue. Kai Havertz is the anomaly here. Until we find a way to put him into this team, or get him playing from the bench, or we have a Jorginho and Rice, or get Partey fit, we're going to have this problem till the end of the season, because he has unbalanced the midfield. And that's just the truth about it. And last season, we had a balanced midfield with Granit Xhaka and Thomas Partey. In the space of 6 months, 3 months, we have a new midfield with Rice and Kai Havertz. Obviously, we're going to have problems. So I just think Kai Havertz has been the issue here. So I just think until we get a natural midfielder to play that number 8 position, we're going to have this issue. It's going to keep on going on.
Kanebi, would you not say we have that already as an option in a player like Smith Rowe? Would you not say
yes, we do have that option, but it's like the manager does not trust him enough. You know, the manager might have him on the bench.
So why does he trust Havertz? The question, you know what I mean? You know, I get what you're saying. He doesn't. Why Havertz?
I don't know. It's the same reason why he bought Willian.
Is he stubborn in I get what you're saying. A player sometimes doesn't have the manager's confidence in starting games. But why Havertz?
I don't know. Maybe I don't know. It's the same reason why he bought
ridiculous. Every time I look at the game, Kanebi, I'm like,
it's the same reason why he bought Lokonga.
I can tell you why. Because the guy spent £65 million on him, and he has to get a tune out of him. It's as simple as that. That's what it is. He did this whole, I'm going to cause this problem for myself. I'm going to go out and buy Kai Havertz, who nobody really wanted. Everybody kind of predicted that he would flop. And Arteta has this belief, this stubbornness. That's what it is. It's this stubbornness and this belief that he can get something out of Kai Havertz. So, and having spent big money on him as well, that's why he continues to keep playing him, I think, because he's so stubborn that he's just hoping that he's going to get something out of him. so he don't look like an absolute fool. But we all know the reality is that Kai Havertz isn't good enough, and he ain't going to be good enough. He's a bench player at best.
But guess what? Let me tell you something, yo. We had this feeling about Granit Xhaka in the first 4 seasons. Last season, Granit Xhaka, oh my God, is a world-class player. Now we miss him. You never know with football.
I get what you're saying, Kanebi, but the comeback to this is that there's no time.
But do you know why?
Arsenal were rebuilding, Kanebi. Arsenal were rebuilding. So for people to say, well, yeah, maybe Kai Havertz will come good, you aren't in. Okay, so here's the thing about it. This guy, Arteta, and this team at the moment aren't in a place to say, maybe he will come good next year. Maybe he will come good the year after. You need someone. You cannot have a part of the machine that is not working and hoping that it will work. It worked with Granit Xhaka. You cannot have that. Like people say, maybe Declan Rice will be good at the 8. For an offensive team, a position-based team, I think you're just hoping that he will come. If he comes good, well, I'm going to raise my hand and say, yeah, but what are the signs that Rice can play the 8 going forward? And I don't think he has the offensive abilities to do that. Based on what?
I totally agree with you. I think Declan Rice is the number 4. I don't think he's a number 8 or number 6 or number 10. He's a strict number 4. And I think we need another midfielder to complement his abilities, to make him just sit back and be the Makelele. You're very right. I do agree with that. I don't think he's an offensive
4 in Nigeria is different than our 4, by the way.
Okay, I'll say number 6 then.
Okay. I just wanted to clarify this. I wanted to, because I know in Nigeria the number 4 is the defensive midfielder.
Yeah, true.
I know that. People that don't know.
It changes in every country.
It does. Actually, in Egypt,
in Spain is a 5.
Number 4 in Egypt is the defensive midfielder, the last guy in the midfield. Same in Nigeria. I know that for a fact. Right? It's just different. Listen, EMMC saying Rice is a mediocre for JDP. I don't know what JDP is. JDP, unless you lose the ball.
Something like that.
For what is JDP, MMC? But listen, so people are complaining that we're discussing negatives about Arsenal, not positives today. Why do you think?
Because you guys want
a genuine question. Why are we discussing negatives? Can it be? Why do you think
you guys want to play with the algorithm? So I understand it's good. It's good for views. It's good for likes. But we all know
actually the people are not liking it.
But
nobody in the chat is liking the negative.
I'm not going to lie to you. I was here the other day. I was watching your show with Northside, the Northside guy. Respect to him, no disrespect or whatever. But I felt he was a bit overreactionary. I think Arsenal fans overreacted. Yes, we lost a couple of games. I just think that we're still close to the top. All we just have to do is pick up some form. Arsenal fans just went all crazy. Oh, it's over. That's the end of the world. Blah, 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 blah. So I don't blame you sometimes when it seems like it's negative, because the fan base, I'm not going to lie to you, can be so fucking toxic. So I don't really blame you. But at the same time, I think there's any reason to be negative right now, because we're in a good spot. The only negative for me is that Tottenham is close to us. That's the only fucking negative here. Apart from that, I'm good.
I disagree. I disagree slightly. I think
before we move on, let me just clarify. He means that Rice isn't good for a position-based football at all.
Yes.
I'm not sure if that's true or not. Is that true?
I don't know.
It's not true.
I don't agree with that. That's nonsense, man.
He's fit into our system perfectly. Anyway, go look at how he played next to Party in the Community Shield. Go look at how they played together. Go look at how they complemented each other. And that's in one game where they played against Manchester City, the best team in the world.
Do you know who I think is very similar to Declan Rice? I think Fernandinho is a similar type of player to Declan Rice. And people in the chat saying he can't play possession-based football. Well, Fernandinho did it exceptionally well at Manchester City, and he was mainly the guy that broke up the play. And I think that's what Declan Rice is best at. You allow him to excel at what he is good at, which is breaking up the play, winning. I mean, I believe he's top of the stats in the Premier League for, interceptions and tackling and stuff. Why would you take him out of that to get him to play a role where he's more attacking when he clearly excels in the defensive work? Like that, I don't get it. It doesn't make no sense to me. But Anyway, in terms
all
of like
depends.
your point a minute ago, Kanepi, like I disagree with you. I think Northside and various others, myself even, I think we have a very good reason to be skeptical about what we're actually doing this season. There was no performance up until today that showed us that we are anywhere near a title race. Yeah, people will say, oh, yeah, but we're only 5 points off. That don't matter. That don't matter. You got Tottenham breathing down your neck. You're not playing well. You're having to win games with 94th minute winners against Luton Town, for example. Like, what reason did we have to be confident that we could actually mount a title charge, which is where we should be this season because of what happened last season? We should be challenging for a league title. After today's performance, however, which is why I sit here and say I've got nothing to complain about, if we can perform like that and start scoring goals from open play like we was last season, I don't see any reason as to why we would be dragged into a top 4 race. And I do believe we will challenge for the league. I just don't think we'll win the league because I think we've already messed up because we should have took advantage of Manchester City dropping points in 6 consecutive games. And instead, we did exactly the same thing. So, you know, and that's where we failed last season. We didn't capitalise when Man City dropped points, and that allowed them to come and catch us. And then you got Liverpool in the mix as well, which I don't think Liverpool will win the league because I don't think they're strong enough. And I do think City are the favourites with De Bruyne returning as well. I just don't think we'll win it, but I do think we can challenge if we perform like we did today. So,
yeah, I agree with that as well. It's one of those ones with our, I don't know, top 4 for me. People talk. I don't think top 4 is in danger or anything. I feel like we're easily top 2, top 3 best teams in the league. The issue was with a lot of Arsenal fans, as we said, it's the performances, it's the Kai Havertz persistence in the midfield, it's even sometimes the David Raya, in goal, even if Ramsdale does something good. I thought there was going to be a bit of a competition there. You sub on the keeper, sub off, as Arteta did say with his own words. Stuff like that. I think that's what's been griping Arsenal fans a little bit, right? But in terms of just pushing up, right, for the next second to two-thirds of the season left, we need to figure out how to just be more consistent, figure out how to break teams down more, because the Champions League, as much as people laugh, I believe there's an opportunity there for Arsenal to do something this season, go far in the Champions League. If we play our cards right, we play properly, right, we keep, the shape that we've got, I feel like we can do something in the Champions League. But we're not going to be able to just turn it on in the Champions League if we're not performing well in the Premier League. We're going to have to do both. So listen, it's not the end of the world.
Can I get a comment
right now,
here, Bilal? I'm sorry. I did a show with you 2 weeks ago, Bilal, or a week and a half ago. And Kanebi, you said Arsenal fans are reactionary. I did a show with Bilal 2 weeks ago. Bilal wanted Arteta out. Bilal
I still want I still want him out. I didn't change.
I'm not calling you out.
My God, why do you want to? Why?
Guys, wait. I'm trying to make a point. I'm trying to make a point. I'm not calling out Bilal. I'm trying to prove a point here, right? I'm just trying to prove a point. When we sat here, me and Bilal, he actually said that he didn't like the performances and he's fearful of this team and all this talk, and that's why he actually presented an argument why he doesn't want Arteta in the job. But in the same time now, after one win and one performance, he's saying that we aren't even in a contention for top 4. We can go and in the title, and we can try and do that. That's the definition of reaction. It's either you believe, because you didn't lose 5 games. You lost 2 games. And one of them, you dominated the freaking game against West Ham. You dominated the game. Against Fulham, you weren't great. But against West Ham, you dominated the game. You created tons of chances. Should have won that game. And that's what I mean. You aren't analyzing the team. You're analyzing games and making decisions and making opinions based on one game. This is what I believe some Arsenal fans do. That's my problem with it. You aren't analyzing the whole season. The Kai Havertz problem didn't go away. The David Raya Ramsdale situation didn't go away because he threw the ball to Gabriel Jesus. That's what I want to understand here. It's not about today's game. Well, if he does this 5-6 games in a row and you win comfortably, we'll say fantastic. Absolutely, yes. Like Brandon here said, today it was good, nothing to complain about, blah, blah, blah. We need to do it 5-6 games. But some Arsenal fans come after one game and try to say, well, no, now we'll do this, we'll do that. But 2 games ago, you weren't analyzing the same situation. And today you still had the same lineup, by the way. What changed today? Trossard played on the left. Martinelli
Even
came on,
before the
scored 2
game,
goals.
right? And the lineup came out. I was going to make this point as well, and I was looking at the lineups, and I wasn't happy because, as I said, I kept talking. Even today, my whole thing has been Jorginho should be starting for Arsenal because we need that control in the team. But I don't think. Listen, I said it a couple of weeks ago as well. I don't think I'm with Brandon. I don't think we're going to win the league. I think we've made a mess of it right now. I don't think we're going to win the league. And I don't think the performances even today, and we started off saying, if you go back to the show, you'll see I said, listen, we were good in the set pieces. Our goals, the Jesus was a counter-attack. And the next 2 goals, listen, great finishes by Martinelli, but Palace were down and out, not offering much of a threat. And there's a lot of space at the back. So even in open play, we haven't been great. And that's a problem. Obviously, when you go into the next few games against better teams or better opposition, they're going to start, if we're not breaking them down properly, and that's why I said if Jorginho doesn't come in, I feel like we're going to have a problem really trying to break a team down. I feel like Arsenal again could end up struggling like we did just a few weeks ago in terms of the results, right? So I don't think it's reaction. When I talk about the Champions League now, and it's a different competition. That's why I'm saying the Champions League. We've seen teams who have won that competition who have not played the best football. Who are actually teams that have played football where they're defensive, where it's not great to watch, but they've figured out a way to win in the Champions League. And also the reason why I'm even mentioning the Champions League is because it's a year where you look at it, apart from Man City, Real Madrid, maybe Bayern Munich, you wouldn't say there's too many teams 100% better than Arsenal, right? So I'm just putting that out there. I'm not saying Arsenal are going to win the Champions League. I don't think we're going to win the Premier League, right? But it's just something to put out there because at the beginning of the season, if any Arsenal fan you talk to would have said, listen, we've got to win the league this year. We've got to win the league. That was the mentality. That was the belief. I believe with our team, with the signings we made, we should go and win the league. And that's still my standard. So if we don't win the league, then I think there's questions to be asked, in my opinion. But I don't think there's any sort of inconsistency to what I said. Because I still, as I said, if Arteta, you give me a choice to get rid of him today, as I said, I would. That's my just opinion. I'm not a fan of the manager. I'm not a fan with some of the decisions he's made. And even today, not a great fan of some of the starting 11 decisions he's made and, the way things are going. But there's still an opportunity there for Arsenal to do something, if that makes sense.
Can I bring a positive?
Before you do that, big up the people that joined from North Side stream. Thank you so much for people that joined us. Make sure to like the video. Over 400 people now. So like the video when you walk in, people like the video. Get us to 200 likes. Come on, over 400 people here. I want to do these couple of super chats because here 20 Hardway saying Rice controls the game very well for a 6. Not everyone is Rodri. We need progressive left center mid as both a passer and a carrier. Hope Emil Smith-Rowe can do that role, which is what we're talking about.
Mm-hmm. Smith-Rowe can do that role. He needs to be trusted by the manager. Simple.
Yes.
The manager doesn't want to play him. I don't know why, but Smith-Rowe can 100% do that job. He can do that role.
All right. EMMC saying, let's accept it. Rice, guard dog to defend counters. Not true. I disagree. Wow. Rice passes the ball well. Rice passes the ball, gets the ball from the defenders to the fullbacks to maybe the next guy. He isn't a guard dog.
He's a player that's second. The players that's second in the top 5 leagues in Europe for progressive passes is called the guard dog, and all he does is cover for bro. This is crazy, man.
Guys, Rice is the last player to slander. I'm not gonna lie. As soon as he's come into Arsenal from the first game, you can just see the quality he has. Like he's, for me, one of the best signings we've made in the last what.
Faraz is saying, drink the Kool-Aid. I think he means you, whoever said Liverpool. I'm gonna win. LFC game will put the nail in. I don't know.
Faraz is a fraud. Firstly, can we get this out of the way? Faraz is a fraud. Yeah, hold that. But yeah, listen, it all comes back to that. Like, of course, this game was important against this game was important against Palace, but the real important game, the game that can really open it up and open the door wide, leave the door wide open for this title race, is the Liverpool game. The Liverpool game at home is going to be so important for us. If we win that game, this opens up the possibilities for us winning the league. Man City, obviously, who are favourites anyway, and they're most likely to go on their run anyway. And Liverpool, it's going to be all three of us just battling it out. You know what I mean? So close in points. So
You think
yeah,
so? You guys think that you're going to be close to Man City and Liverpool?
it all depends on if we can keep being consistent. I still haven't seen this team. I still haven't seen this team with Thomas Partey in it. Coming back into that midfield, and listen, that's one of the reasons why I wasn't Arteta out yet, because I can't judge him. Firstly, he gets to the end of the season for me anyway, but I have to see what this team is going to look like with Partey in it. Yeah, he needs to get rid of Havertz and put Partey in there, play Rice next to him. That's our best midfield with Odegaard in front of him.
Brandon, thank you so much for being here. Any last things you want to say before we?
No, just thanks for having us on again, Mo, as always. And big up the panel and the people in the comments.
Yeah, big up Brandon. His channel is in the description, people. If you want to subscribe to his channel, True Gunner TV, of course. Thank you, Brandon, for being here. Appreciate you, buddy. Thank you so much. And we'll see you the next one.
Big up, Brandon.
Appreciate it. Yes, people. Like Kanebi.
Can I
Oh, you want it? Oh, right, yeah, of course.
Sorry, sorry, Kanebi. I forgot the positive that I want to talk about. That pass from Raya was sensational, bro. The way he was able to see it and just distribute it quickly. Him and Ramsdale both made sensational passes in the last 2 games. Ramsdale made that one to Reece Nelson, which was freaking mad. So bro, listen, for me, it's I don't know who I would take over the two. I think maybe Raya just edges it, but it's very close between the 2 goalkeepers. But I just wanted to give big ups to Raya for that pass, man, because that pass was so good to Gabriel Jesus, and oftentimes he doesn't think quick enough. From what I've seen, he doesn't pass it out quick enough for me. So
Kanebi, you just said that Spurs are right behind you. Do you think you can be dragged into a top 4 race at all this season?
It is possible. You can see. Let me tell you something. I studied the art of war. I do not underestimate or overestimate my rivals. It is very, very important, because at the end of the day, Spurs are playing very good football. They're playing very good football and they're scoring goals. They seem to have a little bit of swagger about them, and we still have to go to their stadium away this season. So I don't want a situation whereby we get dragged into a top 4 race for Spurs. Because if you look at the way the table is, it's too tight. Because if we're in a title race, Spurs too are in a title race, technically. If we're being honest here. So I don't want us to be looking over our shoulder at the same time trying to face what's in front of us. I don't want that situation. I want us to have some breathing space. So like my man said, we need consistency. We need to get consistent. We need to go into games with a killer instinct mentality, finish our dinner, and defend properly. The Premier League is a crazy league. Anything can happen tomorrow. You can be on top today, you could be in the middle tomorrow. That's the Premier League for you. So we can't just rest on our laurels and just think, oh, Spurs can't really do anything. Aston Villa, right now, as we speak, they're third. They're the third best team in the league. How is anybody going to knock Aston Villa off the top 4?
They're actually fourth. They're fourth behind you.
Yeah, but if they play their next game, they have a game in hand. If they play the next game,
they don't have a game.
They don't?
No.
Okay,
yeah, same game.
My bad. But still, you get my point.
I get you. I get what you're saying. Yeah. They are there. Yeah. They are there. Yeah. You can't just say they're done.
Exactly. So we can't just sit back and be like, oh, Spurs are going to fall off. Aston Villa are going to fall off. We only have Man City and Liverpool to worry about. Nah, we have to be on our A game. We have to stay consistent. We have to be on top and finish our goals. That's what I mean by that, because if we get dragged into a top 4 race, it's going to be a disgrace. It's going to be a big disgrace. Sure. I'm not going to take that.
Bilal, last thing before we end this is the this Arsenal team. What's the objective now from here? Is that win the title or challenge for the title?
If I'm the manager, the objective has to be to win the title, because that's what we wanted before the season.
For you as a fan,
yeah, for me as a fan, why not? Why not? As we said, listen, the next 9 games are key, and I've looked at those games, and they're all winnable games. You've got Liverpool and Newcastle at home. Those are probably the 2 hardest games on paper, right, in the league in terms of the next
Yeah,
We have
West Ham
7
away,
games
though.
of the Premier League. Yeah, okay, and West Ham, but Arsenal should be beating West Ham away. If Arsenal are serious, Arsenal, the team that we've built, the team that we hyped up, the team that we said are going to win the Premier League this season, you've got to beat Liverpool at home. You've got to beat Newcastle at home. You've got to keep winning away from home against these other London clubs like we did last season. This season, our record against the London clubs hasn't even been, as good. So for me, listen, the objective has to remain the same. I'm still judging Arsenal by the same standard that I had at the beginning of the season, which was this season, we win the league, right? Or we win a major trophy, which the other major one is the Champions League, right? We've got to win one of those trophies.
I don't know
And
why
listen,
every
I know,
time
you
say
laugh,
that,
you laugh, but that's the energy that we had at the beginning of the season. So why should I change it all of a sudden? Because Arteta has signed Havertz, he signed Raya, and he's still trying to figure out how to make everything work. I'm not going to change.
Lau, can I ask you a question?
Go on.
I want to know if there's context to it. So, if let's say, for instance, Arteta gets us between 1 point of winning it, and we finish second, and we get to like a semi-final or a final of a Champions League, would you keep him in that instance?
Listen, if Arsenal do that, and it's one of those situations where, like Liverpool, where they've missed out on the league, and it's just you just got beat to it, like you did everything you could. You didn't bottle it again because, listen, let's be honest, guys. Last 2 seasons, what have we seen? Title race last season. We're about to win the league, and then it all falls down. The team themselves shot themselves in the foot. The season before, we're fighting for top 4. What happens? We shot ourselves in the foot. We end up finishing outside the top 4 position. So each season so far where we've actually been progressing and going up and we look like we're going to do something, all of a sudden the team themselves, and I'm not blaming opposition saying they're better, I'm saying that our team ourselves has shot ourselves in the foot, right? So this season, if we don't shoot ourselves in the foot and we manage to actually salvage what has been, a poor run over the last few games and we keep on going to the end of the season, then fair enough. Listen, at that point, I'll have to even calm down with some of the Arteta slander or whatever people want to call it, right? But until I see that, I can't really change my opinion.
Because my reason, obviously, when I see that situation, like that's obviously, if we don't win a trophy, then it's uncomfortable conversations about Arteta. But if we actually win a trophy, then obviously he stays. Yes, of course. And if he gets that scenario where he's like 1 point or 2 point away from getting over the line and being second place, and he gets us to a semi-final or final, that I keep him there. The reason why I say I keep him there is because Arteta shows me progression, not only in finishing second, but he shows me that he can handle 2 massive competitions in together. Do you know what I mean? One of the criticisms we had on Arteta is he doesn't seem to be able to handle 2 competitions at the same time. He has to focus on one thing. So if he can do that, then it shows me he can handle and he can manage 2 competitions. Do you know what I mean? So
and we're out the FA Cup, we're out the Carabao Cup. It's literally just the Premier League and Champions. Even the next game is in like 10 days or something, right? This team's been rested. They've gone to Dubai. Everything, to be honest, even the fixture list before this, that made me even more mad when we started losing. I was like, oh, winter schedule wasn't even that bad. It was actually pretty chill, to be honest, for a team that was in still 3 competitions or whatever. So listen, as I said, I'm not going to change my standards. For me, with Arteta, I'm just, personally with me, with Arteta, I'll just get it out there. Mo knows, right? I'm just not a fan of the guy. I just don't like a lot of the things that he does. I don't know. I'm just not a fan of Arteta. We can get into it.
Look at Kanebi. He's like,
I just don't really like the guy that much. Even the signings that he's made, some of the
just feeling you don't like him, like as a manager or as a coach.
No, as a manager, I just don't feel like he's the right man for me. And to be honest, how many years has he been at Arsenal? 4 or 5 years now.
4.5 years.
Yeah, I think I've got enough evidence to make an opinion. I'm not just judging it on 1 year. I'm judging it in totality. But apart from that, listen, Arsenal, we've got to win something major this season, and that opinion is not going to change. And if we don't, and if we get dragged into a top 4 race, like some people are saying, even Kanebi said, listen, it's a disgrace. So it's one of those ones where Arsenal, listen, next 9 games, be serious clubs. If it was Liverpool in our position right now, or Man City, like the on job, the next 9 games they would be winning all of those ones. So Arsenal, you've got to be doing the same, man.
Listen up. Someone here, Emmanuel, is saying Raya was instrumental in the 3rd goal. I think that was a good throw. But thank you, Emmanuel, for the super chat. Really, but we were spoken about this. He's instrumental.
I don't trust Raya, by the way. Another guy, I know Saad, you said you trust Raya, like you prefer him to Ramsdale. I'm more
I
of a
do.
Ramsdale.
I do.
Slightly, I prefer him. 'Cause
I
He
agree.
worries me, man. His
I
ball
think,
handling.
I think with corners coming in, he's much more comfortable to go and grab the ball, and then that gives him his position, or that gives him options like today, where he can grab the ball. He grabbed it quickly, threw it to Jesus, who's making a run. We need to do that more.
Yeah, listen,
Yeah,
people,
yeah.
it's
Okay,
been
fair enough.
absolutely phenomenal show. Congratulations to Arsenal. To turn on the notification bell, because tonight might be a call-in show, so you get to have your say on the channel. Kanebi, thank you so much for being here. Tunnel TV media people in the description. Bilal, of course, in the description, the channel, and the football corner for Saad, the superstar in the current moment in the Arsenal community, in the description, of course. You open any channel, you see Saad. Any channel, you see Saad is there all the time. But people, appreciate everybody that liked the video. Like the video, get us to 200 likes before you go. Thank you for everybody that super chatted the channel and supported the channel on this journey on the way to 15K. Appreciate you, people. And we'll see you guys tonight. Tomorrow, Liverpool. And we are out of here, people. Thank you so much. And we're out, people.